If you enjoy the content, I would appreciate you hitting the subscribe button and checking out my socials. Hey, I'm Smirky, and in part 1, I covered all the different ways teams like to take ramp initially. This video is part 2, and I'm going to be showing you how teams hold on for control, as well as retaking it if they lose control. I'm not going to be paying too much attention of how the CTs initially took ramp control, as again I made a video about that in the description. Apart from that, let's begin. Let's begin by showing a few common tricks you will see pro teams consistently use. One of the most common patterns I saw was a sandbag smoke, and this can be used to hold on to ramp when the ramp smoke fades. It could be used if the teams are actively fighting for control, and lastly, it can be used in retakes. In this round, Tessus dies and Starn's going to be all by himself on A. To have a bit of defense, Starn is going to crouch near this wall and left click the smoke to counter any fast reactions. However, if you want a consistent lineup, you can use this, where you can crouch in a similar area, aim a bit to the right of the beam and left click throw. After throwing the smoke, Starn will peek down using the cement brick to see over the smoke, but his vision is limited and looks like he can't see anything. But if you are using my lineup, you have plenty of vision. This smoke has other uses, like being able to use it as a one-way to wait for a yellow swing, or to see their legs as they go up ramp. In round 15, Starn is going to use it again after the yellow smoke has faded and there is presence on ramp. Heat doesn't commit to ramp, so he doesn't find any use out of it, but when he wants to fall off, he will molly ramp just in case someone slipped past him. Zaru has a different lineup you can use if you're playing from sandbags, and this is very useful to know if they're rushing ramp or you're AWPing. To do this, he will stand in the middle of the sandbags, aim here, and left click throw. In this round, he will use the smoke as a chance to rotate to Ivy from sight. Lastly, another trick is simply jump spotting, and this should allow you to get information quickly and safely. In this scenario you spot a T, you can fall off to sight, or maybe do the sandbag smoke. However, in this round, Frozen will decide he wants to play from Ivy, likely because he feels a bit more comfortable and will do some jiggle peeks. Quickly going in and out to gain the information, but not standing still so it's easier for the T's crosshair placement. However, once Frozen gets contact, it's usually best to fall off, but since it's pistols, he will fight at long range.
And now for something completely different.
In my first video, I said I would show you an easy way to smoke off ramp from elevator. However, I forgot to include the lineup on screen. However, if you want to do it normally, you could just stand next to this wall, aim at this cross, then take 2 to 3 steps and left click throw. And once you get good at it, you can do it on the fly. Sorry, 3 AM editing for you. This is how you do it normally and efficiently. Get next to this wall, aim at this cross, then take 2 steps and let go. Eventually you can do this on the run without having to learn spawn smokes or any wacky lineups.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now that you know some tricks you can use on ramp, let's take a look at some setups you can use with a teammate to hold on to it. And our first setup will be, of course, from Heroic. Cadian's going to flash ramp to allow him to get into position on device. From here, he will hold this angle as a team might go for a boost or some sort of pop flash for when they want to take ramp. But you could peek further down if you want to. Meanwhile for Tessus, he's going to generally play towards second ramp, playing anti, but will later hold this angle. And this angle makes it difficult for the T's to creep up silently. However, when KD wants to rotate off, he will do the sandbag smoke. If you want to play free on A, you can use this setup. In this setup, Tessus will play on device. From here, you can catch the teaser legs as they move out and watch the smoke fade, potentially catching someone off guard. And he will also be using this beam to help skew the vision of his play model, making it that little bit harder for the teaser to spot him, and hopefully give him that extra few seconds of advantage. Cadian's going to take his AWP and get posted on yellow, waiting for a peek. This setup isn't going to be tested, but when they try to molly Cadian out of position, you can see his reaction is to smoke it and keep himself posted, denying yellow access. Lastly for Stan, he's going to be on second ramp, watching the small gap, but he could also play anti-flash if he wants to be a bit safe. And in the scenario Tessus gets contact, it's likely he will swing out to help, but in this round he decides to push down ramp for information. Lastly, this is one of the most simplest setups you can use. Cadian again is going to be posted on Ivy looking down ramp, and Tessus will be on second ramp doing a few jump peeks while Cadian is setting up, then will hold his smoke out. As soon as Cadian gets contact, Tessus can simply throw the smoke and defend ramp, while Cadian perhaps falls off a little bit defending Ivy, and preventing them from swinging Tessus via yellow. However, it doesn't go quite according to plan, as Cadian just gets his Antares peaked. Heat will try to aggress off this, so Tessus will throw smoke as Cadian gets contact, and then mollies on yellow to discourage the push and falls off to the side, not wanting to lose against the anti-eco. I've also posted a cool setup from Vitality and how they use mind games in a setup. You can check that out in the description if you want more setups, and you can use it if you're playing 3 to 4 people on A. I've seen a lot of teams go for retake attempts on ramp, and this is typically done when either the T side has taken ramp very early into the round, or they have gone quiet and you want some info. However, after getting a kill or two, they will fall off to the side, playing the advantage. I'm going to first show you how teams did some peeks and retake attempts on ramp, then I will show you how teams push into second ramp from site. Now let's say you face some heavy util from ramp and force back to second. How should you react? Well, let's have a look at Fury's idea. In this round, outsiders will throw a lurk smoke and a flash, denying info for Yuri. To clap back, he throws a HE, which would do some juicy damage if it was a pack pushing up. He combines this with a flash to slow them down and a molly to stop them. Usually you don't want to use this much util so early, however because Art is smoked off from Ivy and Yuri's pushed off, they don't want outsiders to have ramp so early. But finally to clear it, Yuri will throw a device smoke and him and Art will peek out. From Art's POV, he's going to get smoked off, so he will throw his own yellow smoke and peek onto 51, ready to catch the T's running out. Now let's take a look at a similar scenario, but for outsiders. Jame will head towards sandbags, and the T's will make heavy presence on ramp, causing Jame to protect his teammates as they're flashed. From here, he mollies ramp to get them to fall off, and give him a bit of room for outsiders to play with. Afterwards, he will flash ramp and try and hold yellow. From his teammates' POV, they will be on standby, ready for the flash to go off. I think Kickert should have peeked a bit sooner or thrown something with it, but Flick gets the trade. And when checking out Yuri's perspective, he's going to get flashed out of his mind, and if outsiders were in position, they could watch the smoke fade and catch him. There were rounds where a player would get a pop flash to peek into ramp. In this round, Spirit are pushing ramp, and Apex has a yellow smoke down, allowing him to do this play. He's going to do a self flash, giving him the chance to peek out and catch Patsy. From Patsy's POV, he's going to look away too early and will get isolated. Against Heat, Frozen is going to do the same flash. He takes a bit of a risk with dry peeking yellow first, but doubles up later. Assisting the player is Dexter, who does the sandbag smoke, which could get the T's attention on second ramp. What happens when you're forced back onto your bomb site? Generally it's not a good idea to play the site so early in the round, as the T's can easily execute, get into a post plant and make your life hell retaking it. In this round, Zyru's going to go to headshot and smoke off sandbags, allowing the CTs to have some room, preventing the Ts from playing sandbags. When the boys are ready, he will molly second ramp and get himself into a position to overlook his teammates. Meanwhile, Apex will move from Ivy to Crane, flash themselves in and peek off it, only gaining a kill and a half. If you are going to do this, you either want to get 3 or more kills and die with a teammate, or gain a man advantage and fall off. When his teammates die, Zyru will play elevator, wanting to get himself posted in a safe position. From Wonderful's POV, he's going to see the flashbangs coming in, so he'll turn away, but does actually get grey screened for a while fighting. However, it would have been best if Zyru had a set path flash he could have used if he had one. Another take I saw from Outsiders, where Furia took fast ramp control and they have very limited util, so they'll go for a retake on second ramp. Flit is going to dump some util onto sandbags, and after waiting, him and Norbert will try to peek together, but once spotted, they will wait for a flash to peek off, then fight. In this round, they are gambling for A, due to the loud footsteps Furia made. Assisting the retake will be Norbert with a loosey-goosey flash. I think this flash could have easily been dodged compared to something like this. However, it allows him to join his teammates on the push. Instead of trying to remember every detail of this push, it's best to think of it like this, where you throw one wave of util to soften them up, you can see if you can peek quietly, and if not, you can get flashed in. And if you are wanting to be a bit quiet, a contact may be useful, like in this round, where they have no util and lost ramp control too early in the round, or if you have a man disadvantage. Kicker is going to carefully clear each possible position, while Flit is on Crane, ready to swing. Once he gets to the point of needing to clear sandbags and the headshot angle, they will peek together and fight. From Flit's POV, when he swings out, he will use the cement brick for a slight height advantage, allowing him to spot art. And this take actually does pretty well, as they went from a 4v5 with little info, to a 2v2 knowing the buff ramp. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If none of the setups during the video interested you, how about checking this one out by Vitality, where they use mind games to try and force their opponents into a position where they just ambush them. That video can be found in the description. Apart from that, thanks for watching, see you in a bit.